boy Stoic here. I think it's MADREAMDY.
I promise, we did not plan this for Once in Love to be the naysayer. He's been right? He got the first one right. We'll find out here. The final spot at the America's Cup to go to Worlds is on the line right now. MADREAMDY and SHIZZY for all the marbles. Let's see who will be going to Worlds.
Well, we've got MADREAMDY and we've got SHIZZY. They're battling it out for that final spot in the final. We have Okeanos being the first pick for MADREAMDY. Everybody's locking this unit down first. We've seen it time and time again. SHIZZY looking to respond.
Oh, very classic responses here. A lot of these things we've actually seen drafted together. We saw True Ale with the Oki Carnal and the Water Ryu, but these two are breaking it up. Ganny's available here. Ganny, Oki, and the Hey comes in. Something I've been waiting to see a lot in the tournament. I didn't see Zafarius pick it as much as I wanted to, and nobody else, but here it is. MADREAMDY is bringing it out.
Yeah, really haven't seen much Hey Gang. We're finally seeing it coming back here. MADREAMDY is locking in on his side of the field. SHIZZY with his second round of draft here after seeing Ganny and that Hey Gang.
Yeah, has to be pretty careful. She was very good against the Hey Gang, but a little bit risky. Doesn't have a lot of damage in the comp yet.
Yeah, not a lot of damage, but also not a lot of sustain as well. MADREAMDY with two last picks to respond to this not so damage heavy nor sustained comp by SHIZZY.
I do like SHIZZY's draft, though. He does have two speed leads. MADREAMDY not taking the Lulu yet, which means SHIZZY does have the availability to pick Lulu last here.
Let's see when MADREAMDY wraps up as the clock ticks down. His final picks are going to be to wrapping up his draft. It is going to be the Fran. Clock ran out on that one. I'm curious if he meant to draft the Juno, but we've got Fran and Juno wrapping up for MADREAMDY.
Juno's actually fairly effective here. Fran and Juno not the worst. Fran and Verd could have been good as well, but a lot of different opportunities here. MADREAMDY, oh, we do see the Han. That's a lot of damage that can come out. It's a pretty scary setup here.
Definitely a lot of damage indeed. It's actually what SHIZZY really needed to have here was a lot of damage, but the sustain does go for MADREAMDY, where SHIZZY has the strips and a little bit of control here, and it looks like that Chiwu is going to be the ban, and Okeanos is going to be the ban. 24 speed lead for SHIZZY, expecting him to go first turn as we get into our first match with SHIZZY and MADREAMDY.
I think SHIZZY was actually expecting to see not the Chiwu ban. Oh, that's such a fast Hey Gang taking first turn.
Extremely fast hanging, not able to get that strip on top of the Han, of course, but we've got Water Ryu, who is glanced up. He might be trying to go for it with that skill 2, but then chooses to go for just a skill 1 into the Hey Gang.
Bad though, big reset opportunity here. Hopefully the Fran moves in front of that Han, otherwise a lot of damage is going to come out from that Han skill 3.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying. It's not. It looks like he's trying to pummel in some damage on top of the Juno, but it is not enough damage here.
Doesn't might take the risk, might skill 3 here. Might be tanky enough to kill. Oh, and the extra turn just in case. Could just attack break the Han instead.
He chooses to sustain his Juno instead. All the immunity is going to be up here, not able to get a stun with that skill 2.
Oh, big revenge, extra damage. So it looks like he went for the skill 2 because he knows that he can just ventilate with his Ganny. Needs to take out this Chongpeng though. Chongpeng with the big strip has a lot of threat here.
Looking for some despair stuns, not receiving anything, cycling a lot of attack bar there. This Han's starting to get a little low, but the ventilate goes back onto the Fran. Fran with more immunity, more healing to help MADREAMDY's team.
Well, this strip is good value. Needs to get the strip on the immunity here. Push back with the Art Master, with that Chongpeng.
Really needs to push back that Fran, not able to do it. We get buffs and immunity coming back up from MADREAMDY.
Not looking good for SHIZZY. He's playing very far from behind now. Is going to see most likely that that Han going down to this Juno.
He's definitely playing from behind here because he's going to be losing this Han very quickly, and he's going to have no more damage to really deal with MADREAMDY. MADREAMDY has the sustain, he has the ventilates to go right back into it. He has the Juno, who's an excellent counter to Chongpeng Carnal.
Oh, but the attack bar gain from Hey Gang does push MADREAMDY in a pretty good position. SHIZZY really needed a violent proc after that that skill 2 strip. Needed to push back and reset the Fran and the Ganny here.
Well, SHIZZY was glanced up. He wasn't really able to do anything except do some pretty good damage with the Carnal's third skill, but he does have second skill here. He really needs to make something of it, and he's moving on to the Ganny.
That extra turn is massive value here. We're pretty scared here for SHIZZY, actually, or for MADREAMDY, my apologies. MADREAMDY is going to eat SHIZZY's skill 3 from the Chongpeng, most likely.
He may do it here, so we'll see this first skill coming out from SHIZZY. Does get that despair stun on top of the Fran, and he really needed a little bit of room to breathe here, and I think that's exactly what that did.
No despair stun for Madreamdy on the Chung Pong. Not looking good for him now. SHIZZY does have a lot of rotation, additional damage coming out.
Another despair stun on top of the Hagang as well. Beautiful damage with all this additional damage that she's able to bring to the field here. Fran's going to be dropping here, and he does confirm that kill. No more sustain on the side of Madreamdy. SHIZZY able to turn this around.
Not enough damage from Madreamdy. Just not enough to chip through this Chung Pong here.
Yeah, that's exactly what was the issue, is Madreamdy didn't have enough damage. He had the sustain, but SHIZZY found a way to remove the sustain from the field. Big skill 3's coming in. It's going to deal massive damage to all of Madreamdy's units. We got the Ganny dropping, and we've got Juno in a horrible situation right now.
Juno most likely going to go down to a single water reuse skill 2, or even a skill 2 from the Carnal. Madreamdy just playing out the timer, trying to figure out what he wants to do next match for his draft.
Exactly. SHIZZY's going to be dropping that Juno with the big skill 2 here, and that's going to be it for Madreamdy. SHIZZY responds, taking round 1 away from Madreamdy.
Yeah, very, very well played from SHIZZY. Played it calm, played it collected, even though he didn't get the opportunity on that first turn, didn't get the pushback on the Fran, knew that Madreamdy didn't have enough damage in his draft to really take out that Chung Pong early enough. Madreamdy needed some extra turns from the Ganny or something to really have a little bit more of a chance to control SHIZZY, but it just didn't come through.
Yeah, he was doing so well. He had a lot of things going for him, but it finally turned around for SHIZZY. She was able to take out that round 1, but here we go, guys. We're getting into round 2. We got our pre-bans from last time. The Pontos and the Gianna pre-ban, and they are now available. New pre-bans are actually going to be Water Ryu and Chung Pong. Very interesting to see these two units. We've seen these two in most drafts, and we're not going to see them going into this round 2.
I really like the Water Ryu ban here from SHIZZY. I think it denies a lot of relevant information, but we're most likely seeing Oki first pick again. Pontos Carnal is a good opportunity here, but so is Pontos Juno. Madreamdy might just lean right into it early on.
Ooh, there's the Pontos Carnal, exactly what you were saying. Okeanos, of course, being a first pick, a unit everybody is locking down as soon as possible. SHIZZY's looking to respond after seeing this Pontos and Carnal.
So SHIZZY leaning into the more difficult draft here. Even though he does have first pick in this opportunity, that Pontos is pretty scary. I do like the Hagang, though, because if Cleanse does come out, they get attack bar.
I definitely like the Hagang as well. Hagang, Ganny and the Okeanos. It's a fantastic combination. Madreamdy let him have it, and now we have Ciara coming out from Madreamdy.
Ciara's pretty safe in this opportunity setup. I really like also the concept here of taking a late Water Monkey King for Madreamdy, but it depends on what SHIZZY takes in the 4 and 5 slot. Last pick going to Madreamdy is pretty advantageous in this draft.
Ciara and Triton coming out from Madreamdy. So much Triton drafting going on in today's America's Cup. Very interesting to see as much as we have.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of speed challenging today. A lot of speed challenging here. SHIZZY does have the Han Gianna for the last combination setup. We know that he has no other speed lead besides that Han, though, so Madreamdy does have a bit of an advantage here, has the Pontos and the Sierra.
I can't help but favor SHIZZY's draft right now. He has a beautiful combination with Gianna Han. He has the Okeanos and Ganymede. He has the Hagang as well. It's a very strong draft coming out of SHIZZY.
I think Madreamdy should take a Chiwu here. I think Chiwu is effective enough to actually fully deny between the Pontos skill 2 and the trade. Oh, and we see a Laura. Oh my goodness.
Laura just came out of storage for so many players right now. Madreamdy locks in the Laura as his last pick.
Love that Laura buff, though. 120 base speed, but doesn't have much to go alongside her strip. Just has the opportunity to be on Despair or the Violent extra turn into the stun.
Well, let's see what these bans are going to be, and it is going to be the Connell, and the Hagang's getting banned out. He's giving the Han-Gianna combination with the Ganny Okeanos combination as well. SHIZZY's got a lot of power in his draft, and Madreamdy has this Laura. I'm so surprised to see this.
I'm still leaning towards SHIZZY as an advantage for this draft. Even though Madreamdy will take first turn, I'm not sure if he has enough damage to take it. Oh my goodness, and we see a different lead than expected.
Yeah, accuracy lead on the side of SHIZZY. Very interesting. Here we go, guys. Could have been a Dax speed lead to help his Gianna take first turn, but Triton's looking for the strip and attack bar pushback as well. Big stuns coming out of that Laura. And we're going to see the silent, I'm sorry, not silence, but the buff coming out of the Pontos.
Interesting that we see this. Might not even bomb on first turn. Madreamdy could actually just hold on to his immunity and invincibility here, but there it is. Bombs up the Gianna, doesn't want to deal with that.
Yep, first skill into the Han, trying to get as much damage down on this Han as possible. We're going to see a reset potentially going out onto the Pontos for that second skill.
thing we have to keep in mind, though, be careful. That Sierra didn't crit, which means those bombs are really high damage. But MADREAMDY could be using a unique non-meta tech here.
Yeah, SHIZZY was looking for the Rain of Stone stun on top of Ciara and didn't receive it. He was able to get the reset, though. No additional turns coming out of SHIZZY's units. Big skill, too, for the silence. Not landing on half the units, only Gianna and Han.
Oh, and there it is. Laura is on Despair. We see the Despair stun landing on that Okeanos there.
Ooh, Ciara's able to proc here with additional turn. Able to gather more attack power with that first skill into Han. Han looking very low right now. MADREAMDY needs to drop this Han.
Oh, Hana's going to go down here. Sierra's going to get the turn. There's the Despair stun again from Laura. The high base speed unit getting all these extra turns.
Another Despair stun, and SHIZZY had everything, but MADREAMDY said no! Round 2 goes to MADREAMDY.
There it is. There's the creativity we're all looking for. Things we don't see on the ladder, things we don't see every day. Laura finally coming out of storage, seeing her time. She's inspired by her sister, Nikki.
There we go. I mean, he didn't go for that speed lead last time to potentially take first turn. I think he thought that the Triton was going to outspeed no matter what.
I think he's also a little bit afraid of that Pontos, knowing that the Pontos isn't on hill.
Oh, the pre-bans are back. That Pontos is banned out here, and the Gianna is pre-banned once again. MADREAMDY with the first pick, and it is going to be the Okeanos.
Yeah, very interesting to see. This is actually one of the only sets that we've seen where the players win when they get second pick.
It's pretty wild. It really is. We've got Ciara Connell coming up for SHIZZY, and we have Water Ryu Gani coming up from MADREAMDY. Okeanos Gani combination on the side of MADREAMDY this time. SHIZZY drafting the Lulu and the Chiwu.
Most likely seeing a Triton here. We definitely see a Triton here from MADREAMDY. It's so standard. It's so right. Last pick could be just about anything. Most likely water or a fire control unit. But instead the Chongpong comes out.
And he was looking at that 33 speed lead. Takes it back though.
Shakes his head. He's not sure. He doesn't feel like that's an effective setup here.
Looks at that Chongpong, goes in with a Savannah. Does SHIZZY have the unit that almost defeated him before? We had that Douglas do very, very well against SHIZZY. And there's a lot of wind on the side of MADREAMDY.
Oh, that's not bad. A little bit on the riskier side. I think a bird is actually really scary in this opportunity, and so is a Leo. I mean, all of these things are just that every time you pick a Savannah and it's not your last pick, you risk fighting that Leo. And we know that SHIZZY likes to use it.
Whoa, Rika is going to be the unit locked in by SHIZZY. He knows there's no immunity, no sustain on the side of MADREAMDY. Rika being very strong.
We're seeing a Water Ryu ban. 100%. We're going to see the Water Ryu ban.
Whoa, and he lets that Rika through. We've got Chiwu getting banned out. We've got Water Ryu getting banned out. Speed lead for the side of SHIZZY, and most likely an accuracy lead on the side of MADREAMDY.
Yeah, a lot of forced lead bans here. So we saw the Water Ryu ban because that's his only AoE stripper to give him first turn, and the Chiwu has to go because otherwise MADREAMDY just goes second.
That's right. Well, here we go, guys. We've got round 3. SHIZZY versus MADREAMDY. Let's see who can get the edge in this round 3 match.
Oh, and the full team strip from Chongpong. Oh my goodness, a swift Chongpong to take first turn.
That's right, and the full team stunned by the Okeanos with not a full team death break, which is what MADREAMDY really wanted to see, but he got enough of them.
Not looking good. The Seal Magic just needs to push back onto the Lulu there. The reset could come out towards Rika.
And he went for the reset onto the Lulu, making sure that SHIZZY does not have a way to sustain himself. Savannah, just so much damage goes right into that CR. Immediately, SHIZZY knew what was up in round 3. Goes to MADREAMDY. MADREAMDY has the edge on SHIZZY.
MADREAMDY with a big gamble there, though. Chongpong does not have a 100% harmful effect rate on strip, but managed to get all 4 and some good debuffs there. MADREAMDY with a very, very tightly tuned draft, though. Only the Carnal moving in between units.
Yep, what a match there. MADREAMDY, excellent plays. We've got the pre-bans from last time. Pontos and Gianna now available. New pre-bans coming out.
I gotta say, I love to see how long these players take in draft. They take every last moment to decide what's the best opportunity for them. And then the plays just go by so fast.
Well, they definitely know what they're doing when it comes to that. When they're playing fast, they know what they're getting, and they're also getting it, because we saw that Chung Pung get that full team strip, and it's not often we get to see these full team strips coming out of Chung Pung, and it made that match. It set the tone. MADREAMDY went right in there, Rain of Stones, and just wiped up SHIZZY in that round 3.
Yeah, that Rain of Stones did a ton of damage. There's so much additional on that Okeanos. It's absolutely incredible to see.
Whoa, we're seeing an Okeanos pre-ban and the Chibu getting pre-banned.
Okeanos pre-ban, interesting. Most could be leaning towards a more first pick, actually, if that's the case.
Let's see what SHIZZY is going to be locking down here. And it is going to be CR. He's taking his 24 speed lead in the form of CR. MADREAMDY probably responding with that more.
MADREAMDY knows that SHIZZY is going to take Sierra Gianna Han here, so MADREAMDY has to take something that's more aggressive. The Triton with the Moor is effective for taking turn 1, so I'm a little bit surprised that he took the Ganny instead of just immediately taking the Carnal or the Chung Pung.
Ganny Water Ryu for MADREAMDY. SHIZZY locking in that Carnal and Chung Pung.
Carnal's a bit scary in this. Oh, there it is. There it is. The double counter. Very good against the Carnal as well as the Chung Pung here. We see 2 strippers for MADREAMDY. Has a lot of options.
Definitely a lot of options indeed. Locking in another speed lead in the form of Pontos. Pontos, a very, very strong unit going up against SHIZZY right now.
Starting to see it. MADREAMDY took that Ganny because the Ganny-Pontos combination is also extremely scary.
Diana coming out for SHIZZY here. I think he might need a little bit of sustain on the side of SHIZZY. Let's see what he drafts to wrap it up. Are we going to see a Diana Lulu coming out?
Diana very strong here. Diana very, very good. And there it is. Like you said, Diana Lulu. There's the sustain SHIZZY was looking for.
MADREAMDY, after seeing Diana Lulu, I mean, we could see the Antares coming out for MADREAMDY. I don't know if he's going to be drafting it here or not.
I think no matter what SHIZZY's there's very few cases SHIZZY's not banning the last pick here. MADREAMDY is going to pick the last pick according to what he wants to ban, whether that's the Lulu or the Diana. But I find it really hard to believe he's not just insta-banning Diana.
Ooh, Savannah's coming out for MADREAMDY.
Okay, we might actually see no, I don't think we'll see the Sierra ban. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. I think it has to be Diana, right? There's so much damage coming out from that unit.
I know, it definitely could be the Diana. Diana kind of carries the damage here on the side of SHIZZY, giving him so much attack bar as well with all these AoE units.
Most likely seeing the Pontos on the other side. I think we're seeing the Pontos, the Ganny. Ooh.
Whoa, Savannah Lulu getting banned out here.
This is interesting. He's gonna need a lot of damage to kill through this. Diana does have the Ganny for reset and the glancing from Chung Pung from Hagang as well as the Ganny. So there is a possibility for enough damage here.
Possibly, definitely. And SHIZZY, you know, he does have the strong draft. This could be the match that takes us into a game 5, but we're going into game 4 right now with SHIZZY and MADREAMDY. Can SHIZZY turn it around, or does MADREAMDY end his dreams at going to Worlds here? We're about to find out with Water Ryu getting the full team strip, not the full team strip on SHIZZY.
Interesting. Goes for the pushback. Doesn't actually need to strip the Sierra because he knows his Pontos is going to take that turn. SHIZZY better have a little bit of accuracy here on his Diana if he wants the stun.
Ooh, did not get that stun on top of the Pontos. Pontos using that skill 3, getting the immunity and invincibility up for his team.
Yeah, not a lot of value he can get on these first couple turns here. Wants to rotate that Water Ryu out as fast as possible.
Yep, definitely does. We're going to see a first skill coming out onto Diana. Diana being the unit of focus for MADREAMDY. He wants to eliminate it ASAP. Get another additional turn coming out of Pontos. A little bit of poke damage on top of this Diana. Diana trying to go for the stun on top of Pontos.
A little risky, though. It's unfortunate that he violent procced out of that immunity. He really wanted to hold on to that for as long as possible. Sierra does have bomb ready.
Well, the Ventilate back on the Pontos, able to bring up his immunity and invincibility. Once again, glancing does land on top of Diana. SHIZZY trying to do all he can to control this Pontos, though. Does land that bomb. Does he choose to detonate it to remove this unit from the field? And he does not have to.
Doesn't have to. He can hold on to it, but a little bit of a risk because if he resists the bomb stun, he gets a free skill 3, and it's going to be back to square one. And there it is!
He resists the stun! There it is, invincibility immunity back up for MADREAMDY. He's able to keep this Pontos alive by 1%.
But still kind of scary. We do have the strip here from Chung Pung.
Oh,
And the
man,
extra
it's
turn.
the dream. He gets the full turn. He gets a full team strip into the third skill. It's exactly what you want to see as a Chung Pong owner. It is the dream there. Kano locking down 2 units here. Bomb's going to be coming out. That is exactly what SHIZZY needed to get the momentum onto his side of the field.
In this match, it looks like it's going to SHIZZY here. There's no damage from MADREAMDY. So a game 5 you wanted in a game 5 you will see, my friend.
That's right. There's just not enough damage there to hold back this horse.
And a little bit too risky. We did like the Ganny Pontos combination here, but it just wasn't enough damage for MADREAMDY.
We're going into a game 5. SHIZZY takes round 4.
Looking pretty interesting. It's going to be a hard last setup, though. No Pontos and no Gianna. Sorry, I was going to say Ganny for SHIZZY there.
What an interesting last round pre-bans, too. The Okeanos getting pre-banned, and once again, we're going to be seeing Pontos and Gianna pre-banned going into a game 5, an exciting game 5. Winner is going to the final and locking in their chance to play at Worlds.
Yeah, this is going to be a super exciting match. There it is, the Okeanos first pick as always. Most likely, again, seeing them more in the water Ryu, but SHIZZY might change it up. He knows it hasn't been working as well when MADREAMDY does get this opportunity. But let's see what he leans towards.
That's exactly what I've been saying. I think SHIZZY really needs to make MADREAMDY think, but he is locking in that water Ryu and that Kano. It's definitely something that I think MADREAMDY was expecting to see.
MADREAMDY could whip out the Tableau again. He does have the opportunity for that.
See what MADREAMDY does here. I do like the Ganny with that Okeanos. Of course, he's going to be showing that CR. Locks in that CR. He's got a 24 speed lead as well.
Actually, apologies. I don't think MADREAMDY does have a Tableau. I was mistaking it with a different draft opportunity here. Wants the speed lead Sierra, though, with the Ganny.
Well, we've got that Chung Pong and we have that Chiwu for SHIZZY. A lot of strippers on that side of the field.
Looking very, very advantageous for SHIZZY. MADREAMDY could take the Hey Gang, but would want to ban out the Chiwu there for the pushback. It's a little risky though, because he doesn't quite have enough to control the Cardinal, but could go for the last pick Lulu as well.
Yeah, you could definitely go for a last pick Lulu, but that would definitely consider a Diana draft from SHIZZY. And it looks like that last pick's actually going to be Fran and not a Lulu.
Fran is very effective here. I do like the Fran. I do think that it's risky into SHIZZY, knowing he likes the Diana. I think the Diana pick here is going to be really, really strong.
I almost want to see a Lulu coming out of SHIZZY. I think he needs to have some sort of sustain, that safety net in case things go wrong, because this is Summoner's War after all in a game 5. But it looks like he's getting aggressive. We're going to be seeing that Han wrapping up SHIZZY's draft.
This is definitely the standard playstyle of SHIZZY. I do like the Han there. He knows it's on incredible runes. It's very tanky. Chiwu most likely getting banned on one side. MADREAMDY's ban most likely going to be the Hey Gang. Potentially, though, could be banning out the Okeanos.
Well, let's see. These two players definitely taking their time here. Want to make sure that they're making the right decision. This is a very important match. Chiwu, Okeanos getting banned out, guys. We're getting in to our game 5, SHIZZY and MADREAMDY. The player that wins moves forward and locks in their position in Worlds.
Speed leads locked in. Here we go.
Let's go, guys. SHIZZY, MADREAMDY. And we've got MADREAMDY taking first turn, looking for some full strips, not receiving it on top of the Connell. The glancing is going to play a lot of effect in how well this strip happens, but he goes for the attack break and Despair stuns that Hey Gang.
It's a pretty good value. Got the Despair stun immediately and the attack break.
Great value indeed. He's looking at a little bit of poke damage here. Let's see what he's trying to work down. And it is going to be Ganymede with the additional turn as well. You like to see it for SHIZZY. He's going to get that second skill up next turn.
Oh, that is really rough here. Hoping the Cardinal moves first for this opportunity, and it does. But MADREAMDY does have a good spacing here. Could put the bomb up on the Chung Pong to deny the skill 2 strip.
Ooh, choosing to put that bomb on top of the Connell instead, even though Chung Pong does have that strip up here. Ciara could Violent Proc, we can get a double bomb. I don't know if MADREAMDY has it, but we're going to find out. Does he get lucky enough for that additional turn coming out of Ciara? And he does not.
Oh, there's a little bit of value, though, too, because Chung Pong does not have skill 3 yet.
Ooh, trying to go for a nice little attack break there. Did not get it. He does have the glancing on top of the Han. Han's not able to do anything there. We do have the skill 2 up here, but Fran does have immunity again.
Needs to get the violent proc if he goes for it. Got the violent proc, but didn't go for it. Didn't go for the strip into the skill 3 reset.
Oh, he went for the skill 3 reset anyways to keep that Ciara back from possibly landing anything. He is possibly going to go for a second skill onto the Ciara. He wants to remove this unit from the field. Does get the additional turn. Stunned up.
Really trying to play the 3 protect 1 here. Sierra's taking a lot of damage, and here comes the strip. Wants to take away that attack buff from the Sierra.
That's right. Finally, a non-glanced Water Ryu going in for a big skill too. But you know what? It only removed 1 immunity and 1 attack buff. Not exactly what he wanted to see here. And again, a failure to strip with this Chung Pung.
Oh, but gets stripped through glancing and takes out the Sierra. It's not looking nearly as good now for MADREAMDY. He's going to have to play a really uphill battle.
That was a big shot coming out of that Han. Han needed to drop the Ciara there. Critting through glancing was absolutely stunning at this point.
Stunning. I get it because he didn't go for the stun. Big play, though, from SHIZZY. A lot of damage out there from that Han.
Ooh, Ganny was able to finish off the Han with the additional turn as well. Huge seal coming out here.
We know SHIZZY just used the skill 3 on the Cardinal, so the big reset into the Chung Pung. This could be the great equalizer. This could bring it back here for MADREAMDY.
Yep, we'll see. He does have that heal, and he decides to heal himself here. He's going to try and get a Despair Stun. No Despair Stun's coming out. A little bit of attack bar reduction, I believe. Ventilate goes back onto the Fran. Fran's going to be his source of sustain. That's going to be keeping him alive here. Chung Pung tried to get a little bit of attack bar reduction. Is there a Despair Stun? No, he needs to land this Provoke on top of the Fran, and he does land it with the additional turn, throwing up that immunity, sustaining his team.
SHIZZY not in a great position now because Cardinal looks like he might be going down soon.
He needs to keep that Cardinal alive. It's a huge source of damage with this Ganny and the Fran up there. But we've got Chung Pong trying to do all he can. If he can land this big skill too, he needs to strip everything. A lot is relying on this strip, and he does not get a full team strip.
Oh man, the attack bar game, but he needed to take away that attack buff from the Fran. The additional damage on Fran is just so hard to deal with.
Whoa, SHIZZY choosing not to use that skill 2 strip with the buffs being up on these 2 units. There's the additional turn coming out. Looking for the attack break, and I think the Hagang is going to have enough, dropping this Connell here.
He really needed the glancing on the Chung Pung. Chung Pung does have skills available. It's not looking the greatest. A violent proc on Ganny could change everything.
But the glancing on top of this Chung Pung is extremely important, though. Not able to drop that Hagang, but Water Ryu is going to have enough there.
Fran in a very good place here with the skill 3. All strips are gone.
All strips are definitely gone unless he gets this additional turn here, and he does not get that additional turn. Water Ryu not built on Violent, trying to pummel away this damage on top of the Ganymede. Ganymede with the reset on top of Water Ryu, dumping attack bars across everybody. We see this attack breaks coming out. No, I'm sorry, the heal on top of the Ganymede.
Well, that's a lot of additional damage. 2.4k per hit. The Fran's gonna hit pretty hard too here.
Huge gamble with the glancing, had to go for second skill. SHIZZY needs to make these kind of moves. Not looking good for SHIZZY. I think Ganny has enough to drop it, and he does. It is a lonely Water Ryu. I don't think SHIZZY has it.
SHIZZY needs a lot of Despair Stuns here. Is very scared though, because the glancing debuff won't allow him any chance to Despair Stun the Ganny.
Yep, there is no chance there with this glancing being up there. He can reapply this glancing. He get the reset for the attack bar reduction. Looking so good from MADREAMDY. SHIZZY, no, this is over. So much damage
Here
coming
it
out
is.
of this
It's over.
damage, Fran. There you have it. MADREAMDY goes to the final, locking in his position.